And welcome back to Bulldog Basketball here on the Hill Media TV. It's the Bulldog Warm-Up Show, and I'm joined now by head Bulldog, Coach Brad Stamps. B. Stamps, welcome to the Warm-Up Show.
Oh, glad to be back, Pat.
It's the initial show opening night here at Bulldog Arena for this very young basketball team. Only 4 seniors, Brad. Talk about, what fans can expect to see or what your expectations will be for this 21-22 Bulldog season.
Yeah, Pat, expectations, as you know, here at Fayetteville High never change. They're always, as Mike, my favorite football coach, Mike Tomlin, always says, the standard's the standard. And so, it's one of those things where, for us, we had more turnover, Pat, from one year to the next than we've had in a long time. And so what that does is it puts a big group of sophomores on the floor, that don't have any varsity experience, but it's definitely a talented group. It's a group that's played together in the summer on the same summer teams, and then, trying to mesh them in with, like you said, the 4 seniors. Fortunately, one of those 4 seniors, Landon Glasper, is out for us for a while with a broken wrist, and so it's a mix. It's a combination of a lot of guys, and so hopefully, we continue to grow together. We know that youth, is going to take. They're going to have some ups and downs. That's just part of it. And so I think, when it's all said and done, they're going to benefit, and we're going to benefit as a program from putting them on the floor.
Brad, I want to talk to you about a senior returning starter. Jack Ert was your starting point guard last year. With Landon being out, how much more pressure, or if any, do you add to Jack's plate with being that senior starter, really, with this young basketball team?
Yeah, that's a good point, Pat. We've had some behind the door meetings with Jack about just being the leader. He always has been a leader, but being more vocal, especially with these younger guys during practice, being able to echo what we're preaching to our guys, taking care of the little things, and providing that for that young group. And I think those guys, Jack's earned the right to have that by his play, by his off-the-court demeanor, the things that he does. He carries that responsibility, and those guys look up to Jack. And so being able to provide just that stability, guidance is huge.
Another guy, Sawyer Keith, a real major piece in last year's team off the bench. He, too, is going to be another senior that you'll look to for leadership. Talk about Sawyer's growth and what you've seen here in the offseason leading into tonight's ball game that you really feel good about, SK.
Yeah, he's a versatile kid who can guard, multiple positions. He's a kid that, he's got some length to him. A young man who loves the gym, loves to be in the gym and work on his craft. He's not just a kid that we rely on to make, open jump shots. He's a kid that, he's one of our better offensive rebounders. He's a kid with his length and athleticism, defensively, that can cause some problems. And so, we rely heavily on him, and he's going to be a big part of what we do.
When you look at tonight's ball game versus the Harrison Goblins, this, you guys have a very inexperienced basketball team. That's not the case with Harrison. They're a very good shooting basketball team. What is that you guys are going to really focus on is to be the emphasis in tonight's ball game, Coach, to open up the season here in Bulldog Gym 1-0?
Right. Yeah, it is. It's a contrast as far as what they're going to put on the floor, as far as senior experience to us having very little experience. And so we've just got to be the most aggressive team on the floor. It's stuff we've preached. When the ball gets thrown up, we've got to be the team that, swarms to the basketball, that dives on the floor for loose balls, that gets the extra rebound to help us on offense. And then defensively, we just got to be on the same page. We got to lock in and be focused on what we're trying to do, and hopefully the energy that our players provide for each other We can pull from that. Leadership on the floor is what we're looking for. And hopefully, that'll be enough to get through tonight.
Now, I know you talk about that young sophomore class, 7 sophomores having to play, moving up to play on the varsity level. I mean, who are some of the guys, or, is it just a total group that when fans come to the gym tonight, who are going to be some of those names that they need to write down and follow here for not only this year, but the next 2 years?
Yeah, that group is, it's a really good group. People have talked about this group for a while. They're a group, like I said before, that they don't just play here at Fayetteville High together. They travel in the summer and play together on a traveling team, and so their chemistry is really good. They've got a little bit of everything. They got Jaden Haney, who will start at point guard for us, and he's really good with the ball in his hands. He creates open shots for others, understands the point guard position. His backup, Nigel Armstrong's a little guard that causes people problems defensively because he gets down so low underneath them. Ornette Gaines, who I believe, his ceiling is so high, Pat. He's got he doesn't look like a sophomore. He's going to walk out in uniform and surprises people when you tell him he's a sophomore because of his body. He does a little bit of everything. Mason Simpson, a gym rat, a kid who beats everybody here in the morning to school and has already got a sweat going by the time the first bell rings. Can shoot it and stretch the floor. Rex Rusher, a kid who played really well in our benefit game Saturday, just crafty and understands how to play.
Right.
Jackson Berry, a kid who's banged up and injured who won't play tonight. We probably won't see him till after Thanksgiving with a knee problem. Is a young man that is going to have a good career here. Brylan Sims, his length and athleticism, offensively and defensively, we can play him at multiple spots. His basketball's ahead of him. So, we like that group a lot. They have to understand that it's not easy
right.
By any stretch of the imagination, regardless of how much success they've had in the past, regardless of how close and tight-knit they are in the summer. It's just not easy to walk out on the varsity floor night in and night out and be successful. And so learning how to deal with adversity, learning how to deal with getting punched in the face and being able to respond is going to be growth. And hopefully each time out, they grow a little bit more because we're going to need them in the long run.
Last message, Coach, before tip-off, and thanks for taking time out here on the warm-up show. But to those that will either be watching the game here on the Hill Media TV or about to buy a ticket and have a seat here in Bulldog Gymnasium, what's that message to the fan base from head coach Brad Stamps?
Well, just come out and support these young men. It's a group that I think that people will really, they'll really enjoy watching grow. It's kind of exciting to have a young group that people can kind of watch their growth and trajectory as it goes. And more than anything else, just hopefully the product that's on the floor represents our community and somebody that, they can be proud of.
Well, Coach, I'm looking forward to being on the initial call to open up the 21-22 season here in Bulldog Gymnasium. But, hey, keep up the good work, and my final words from one dog to another. Let's get it.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate you, brother.
That was head coach Brad Stamps. Hey, we got basketball coming up. When we come back, I'll be joined at the table by my friend, Randy Coleman. It's Bulldog basketball on the Hill Media TV.
Where everybody in the town's fired up. This is the best part, and you guys are the show. You're the show. They didn't come to watch me call plays. They came to watch you guys do your thing. I mean,